Okay, greetings, salutations, good day and highs, guys and gals. Welcome back to CorpoCar World Series Season 5 on this beautiful Sunday morning, or whenever you may be watching. It's the midway point of this month's championship. We're going to have races today at Motegi Road Course, Ontario Motor Speedway, and Laguna Seca. I'm a bit exhausted. I'm still waiting for my coffee to cool down. Just a long day yesterday. But let's see how it is for today as we have a look at the points. CorpoCar Season 3 champion, Fuyo Cloverfield of Idle Corp, having the points lead, 273 points over VW's Kilispika at 244 points. Pixel Link's Chiaki Katsumi is at 230. Amber Amane, 163. Ko Maria, 157. That's her top 5. Leading for VNU in 8th is Serenity Cosmica, 138. And Specialites, Sue Isaka, 125. And here's the bottom half of the standings. Everyone is on the board, luckily. Bottom dweller currently is DK Graves of VNU, but there's still 9 races to get into. Now, notice the absences beside Pippa's name and Tenma Miami's name. They'll both have to set out today's races because we're dealing with a bit of a sickiness. Rock and Roka. Let's go. Yeah. Someone's real excited for today's rounds. You love to see it. Alright, first up for today, Twin Ring Motegi, actually now called Mobility Resort Motegi. 4.801 kilometers, 2.983 miles, 14 turns. Usual settings and stuff right there. Standing start, 21 minutes. Leah, please be lucky. Let's hope we get to see her in today's races. Alright, everything's good to go. Let's load. Listening while doing FH liveries and VGTC trailer. Okie dokie. Now let's have a look at the track preview. It's along with Raki Kazuki. Having a look at this road course, almost 3 miles in length. Go around there and around there and around there. Now, this road course is completely separate from the oval track. This road course layout is all by itself. That's why it's called Twin Ring Motegi in its original name. Now I go outside of the oval limits. Go around and around and around. Down in there. Make a left-hand turn. And then after this hairpin turn, you speed your way across this long straightaway. Turning right. And then you're back inside the oval limits again. Just a few more turns. And you're home free. That's a lap at Motegi. And we're going to be racing here for round 7. Fuyo just made the grid for this race. And to check things. Okay. I got to write down some names for yesterday. Okay. Now, it looks like Leah is in. We'll start off 5th. Okay, but these drivers don't get in. So I'll have to cut them off because we only need 36 cars. Only 36 qualify for each road race. All right. Caminari Clara of Phase Kaleido will start off at pole. Fitting that's a Phase JP member. Japanese Corpo vTuber will start off at pole here in this Japanese race course. Lottie will start off 2nd. Then Iori and Amoria. Leah and Roka. Kohaku, Mazu, and Serenity. Pika, Reina, and Juna. Roa, DK, and Penelope. Michu, Spectra, and Loki. Chiaki, Suri, and Mero. Nova, Rami, and Poco. Sharzu, Raki, and Maeve. And I forgot to have to cut away a couple drivers, so we're gonna have to go with 34 then. Yeah. So we have to go with 34. I forgot Pippa and Tenma aren't supposed to be in this race, so we're stuck with 34, whether you like it or not. Excuse me. Jesus. I'm new into Chuba racing, but now that I'm here, I hope there will be more overseas ovals in future RF1 series. Yeah, there is indeed the oval at Twin Ring Motegi, and there's also the Euro Speedway Lausitz in Germany, the Lausitz Ring. And there's also the Circuit Venray in the Netherlands, but we don't use that track for our series because it's too short for open wheel racing. Rooney, Coney, Ember, Nikki, Siu, Kaya, and Fuyo. So we're gonna do 34 cars then, not 36, but it's still gonna be top 30 anyway. Just pretend the qualifying took place yesterday, and the next day, Pippa and Tenma are feeling unwell to take part in today's races. So we're stuck with 34 cars for this round, and we'll let everyone know that we're about to begin. Puebla, yeah. We used to do that. We used to use that car for IndyCar, vTuber IndyCar with an older car mod, but the current car mod we use is no good for some reason. Maybe for CorpoCar, we might use that track. Verification not required. So, 34 car field at Motegi for round 7. Let's see what happens. Alright, here come the 4 red lights. Soon they'll turn green. And off they go. Clara leads everyone off. So does Lottie. Iori trying to make the jump. Being shoved by Amoria. Everyone making their way around the first couple turns. By the way, the Mexico City Oval, I am aware. I'm unaware of such a track made. There's probably an oval layout in Mexico City in real life, but no such track made for rFactor as far as I'm concerned. Well, there is a Formula E layout, I think, for Mexico City, which utilizes mostly an oval-shaped design, but with a few quirks. But you may have to wait until we get to a V-Shoujo racing series for that track to be used. Yes, a V-Shoujo racing series using Formula E rules. Currently on indefinite planning hiatus, as Caminari Clara is first to get back inside the grandstands and will have the lead after this opening lap, followed by Pixel Link's Lottie, who's well behind the rest of her Pixel Link teammates. Moria, who finished third at Richmond yesterday, is third after this opening lap. And a few cars will have to pit lane, including points leader Fuyo. Not quite a good start for her. DK, Rocky, and Fuyo. DK especially struggling. She's bottom of the points. Anywho, trying to see how everyone is faring. Chiaki is a little under mid. And Spica is 10th. Suri makes the pass against Serenity, who is missing the front wing. Serenity Cosmica has no front wing, so she'll have to let a few cars go ahead of her. As cars 32, 33, and 34 both make their way, all make their way out. A lead by Clara by almost 3/4 of a second. Moria has dropped a bit to 4th. Iori is 3rd. So 2 phase members, perhaps based in Japan, most certainly Clara, and I would say Iori as well. In the top 3. The V Shoujo Racing Series is in RF1. Oh, careful there, Fuyo. Roa, Serenity, Ember, in pit lane. Scanning throughout the field, seeing how everyone's doing. Just having a chill Sunday, just getting the races done. Just enjoying a bit of racing. And I'm going to be watching the Road America race later on as we see some debris. That's obviously Serenity's car. Yeah. Serenity missing a side pod cover. Meanwhile, Clara is still leading for Phase Kaleido. Lapped car in the way for Lottie. Oh, great! There's another one that's in the way for the Pixel member. Oh no, that just won't work. Clara's a bit too far ahead. DK does go in, so there's a bit of a clearance now for Clara. That for Lottie, as she goes against Clara. Maeve just getting a pit lane. Well, not sure about oval racing with electric cars. It's almost all street circuits in Formula E. So I suppose we'd be doing the same rules for the V Shoujo Racing Series. If and when I get to it, because I got other series to worry about, as well as real life, as Leah having to sit in pit lane. Rooney, see you. As I need to get a sip of my coffee. That's about a 3-second advantage for Clara. Clara's time at Star Sprint's Kilovolts show, aka vTuber Top Gear, doing wonders. Yeah, seems to be doing quite well for her here at the Mobility Resort Motegi. We expect to get Globy members into CorpoCar next season, which is scheduled to begin sometime September, October, with the World Series taking place as per usual in December. June and December, that's when World Series seasons take place, World Series championships for CorpoCar. whole bunch of new drivers expected to go in for Season 6. There's also a chance that members of the VTuber group Mythos would also enter, provided I'm able to make their car designs, because their designs are so complex, hard to take out the background and just get the transparent backgroundless renders of the designs of those members and whatever. And oh shoot, we're seeing a bit of a blooper involving Roa and Ember. Look at that again. Ember making a bit of a blooper, and yeah, that was inexplicable by the phase invader. Roka getting out of pit lane. Sharzu just getting out of pit lane. Leah and Fuyo still barely in the points settings. Well over halfway through this race, 10 minutes left here, as Clara gets sort of hindered by traffic. Several cars went down, including Spica and Fuyo. Chiaki still in the top 10, though. Clara with a 10-second lead over the next driver down, which is now Kohaku Yumikui. Third is Juna. Mazu 4, Amoria 5. Probably need to help scout for CorpoCar East teams. Error by Lottie. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Another incident involving the car getting out of pit lane, and what was that all about? I think, did that also collect Roa as well? I know Lottie is without a rear wing. Well, it cost Roa the front section of her car. Clara couldn't care less about such matters. She still has I guess a lead. Well, it's dropped down a bit to 7.2, but Kohaku herself is getting hindered by cars in the way. Lottie will have to let Kohaku pass her by. Oh, here comes Amoria, making the jump to third, right behind the lapped car of Lottie. Mozu to 4, Juno drops to 5. Lottie being courteous again, letting Amoria try to chase after Kohaku. We'll see how the lead is. Back to normal, 11.6. In fact, it's the biggest lead yet. Per recollection. Clara leading all throughout this race. Oh, Moria just having to deal with a bit of drafting just to perhaps save fuel or something before she attempts to make a move on Kohaku. Lottie's gonna take a while in pit lane. See you, Isaka. Likewise. Kaya is out of the race. We already lost one driver a bit some time ago. Moving right along. 5.5 minutes left. Still Clara. Sue and Lottie 2 down, and 18 cars are in the lead lap. Clara still with a hefty advantage. Either word is fine. Phase Connect JP member leading in a Japanese track. 5 minutes to go. These red soft option tires starting to wear out, I guess, as another car part is abandoned. Can't tell who that is. That's gotta be Spectra's. Coming down to the last 4 minutes, maybe 2 or 3 more laps for the Kaleido member. As Spica, who's been struggling in this race, gets out of pit lane, is now 2 down. Big gap between first and second, big gap between second and third. A few cars in the way for Juna. I mean, she is in the Phase JP. Her primary language, I suppose, is Japanese. She does speak English. So, Phase JP it is. I'll say 2 to go here for Clara. Absurdly dominant throughout this race. I don't think anyone could stop her at this point, because, yeah, too big of a lead. After this race, we're going to be at Ontario Motor Speedway, which was back then the Indianapolis of the West. Lara certainly lusts for the English language. Well, if you say so. I don't see much in the way of incidents, perhaps the rest of the way. Everyone's been driving relatively clean. Last minute here, as Clara approaches the start-finish. White flag will be waved now. So it's going to be 13 laps all told for the race winner. Still Kohaku second, still Amoria third. Episode 2 Star Sprint. And she is sprinting like a superstar here at Motegi. Excuse me. As the time will just about expire now. And it's a race to the finish now. Last go around on the hairpin and onto the front stretch, the long stretch, the long straightaway. Words are hard. And back into the track. This is grandstands for the last time. A few more turns. And it's a perfect race result for the Phase JP member here at the Mobility Resort Motegi. Kaminari Clara comes to the finish line to win round 7 here in Motegi. 101 points for her. Led all throughout the entire race with no issues. Kohaku takes second, and for the second consecutive race, Amoria makes third. Fine performance by the CorpoCar East champion. And of course, that's a ride with Hiri Kilovolt of Globy paying off here completely, as Clara has herself a CorpoCar win. Just a couple more drivers to finish here. And Roa and Ember should also be done. Roa, of course, will have to pit and delay the finish further. Ember's done, just barely making the points. Juna, accident on 30, but 30th is 1 point, so no need for a sound effect. Clara's car looks like the 2000 era Renault. Clara is Japanese. Yeah. I do say I do like the color scheme I made for her car. A bunch of these corporate cars do have nice color schemes. We'll fast forward to end here. And lock in the points for everyone. It may be only 34 drivers, but still only 30 drivers to score, so what's the difference? Good performance by Chiaki with a top 10 finish, finishing 6th. Bit of a struggle here at Motegi for Leah. No points, unfortunately, for Spica. And that's 34 names. So 101 for Clara. And you gotta write down the top 3. And also the medal counts. There's Kohaku. Another podium for her. Very good for the Kauai member. And Amoria. And the count does make sense. And well, Fuyo does make points and still continues to lead here with 282 points. Chiaki Katsumi goes back up to second with her very good result here. 270, 12 behind Fuyo. Spica failed to score, drops to third. Remains at 244. Kohaku jumps to fourth, 195, and Kanagi Loki is fifth. Excuse me. Shisui Michiru should be fifth because she has a win and Kanagi Loki has a second. They are both on 175 points, but Michiru has the tiebreaker, so we'll roll with that. And on. Remember, Pippa and Tenma can't race today because they are recovering from illness. Fuyo and Chiaki are really close on points. Indeed. So we're done here as we move on to Ontario Motor Speedway. It's right over there. We're going to be racing 29 laps. And gotta make sure the right car mod, the right vehicle filter is in. And 25 minutes, and we poop. All right, so we'll have to take out Pippa and Tenma. The other 43 cars can qualify here. Well, I guess we'll have to have a track preview with Poco. At least her car is whole. So this is similar to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, except the turns are banked 9 degrees. I think at Indy the turns are banked only 8 degrees. But yeah. There was also a road course layout built for this track, but there's no such mod made for rFactor. There's only the oval. Remember, we only need like 40 cars for this race. 40 car fields as per usual in ovals. Couple more turns and then we'll set the grid. Alright, so we're set to go here. See who will qualify for this race and who doesn't. And we'll have to re-roll. Because we need a good amount of times, and Amoria failed to qualify for this race. Michu and Coney also. After two consecutive third-place finishes, Amoria doesn't even qualify for this race. You hate to see that. Remy will start at pole because, of course, it's a phase member on an oval. Momo will start off second. Then it's Loki and Chiaki. Lottie and Penelope. Spica, Nikki, and Roka. Suri, Sheena, and Serenity. Amber, Kohaku, and Clara. Miuna, Ko Maria, and Rin Penrose. Leah, Mero, and Reina. Henko, Iori, and Fuyo. Rooney, DK, and Yuno. Haya, Siu, and Roa. Miu, Poco, and Maeve. Hyuna, Raki, and Kokone. And finally, Nova, Spectra, Sharzu, and Mazu. And everyone is in. We're going to begin in just a moment. Just need to check what's downstairs. And then we'll get to round 8 at Ontario. So be right back in just a moment. All right, back in it. Quiet versus vTuber, back row. Fight! Oh my. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Ontario Motor Speedway and Ontario, California, not Ontario in Canada. Let's get to the race. Just had to do a bit of adjustments in the gridding, in the files to have 40 cars properly gridded up for this race. Anyway, let's see what happens with these 40 Corp vTubers going around this track for 29 laps of action. Emilio Nefis and Momo Otako are your front row for this round 8. A trip back to the past in Ontario, California. Let's go. Momo up in front, while Remy is pushing back a bit. Some 2 wide, some single file. Almost said 1 wide, which is not only a tongue twister, but it just sounds silly either way. Momo, Penelope, and Nikki, your top 3. After this opening lap of 29. Some cars inexplicably touching wall. Why would you do that? We are just waiting for something to happen, but it is early on in the race. Everyone's just trying to warm up their tires. Get used to the high speeds. They're at over 205 miles per hour. Almost backing up a bit. Suri up in front. Kohaku Yumikoi. Man, she's having a strong month. A strong weekend. And here she is making a move to the front. But is being surpassed by Remy and Nikki. Actually, Remy is backing away. Nikki Ray of Idol Genesis up in front. But goes to the outside and backs away a bit. Quite a few cars going into the outside lane and just slowing down a bit. So a few cars too wide. Side by side, some 3 wide. As Maria having to stop at pit lane for a bit and be disadvantaged. Guess what we need to see? More Speedway pack racing, but this is not as absurd as Chicagoland last Friday night. Why are we racing in the deserts? Beats me, Meadow. Beats me. But this is a 1970s track. As in, it closed in real life in 1980. There's the 4 wide, 5 wide calamity that we all came to see. It was like 2 wide for a while, side by side, but it's now 4 wide. And now someone completely different up in front. And Kanagi Loki, who finished second in the last oval race at the much shorter Richmond Raceway. Bryn Penrose making her mark, but a bunch of cars have already gone ahead of her anyway. So, Black Juna is currently leading the goulash of cars. With Penko right behind her, and right behind Penko is Loki. Because of course 2 of the top 3 are phase members, and they're not racing on ovals next month. Mega risky. It would be very funny if they just all crashed into each other. Somehow, that didn't happen during the Chicagoland race. I don't know about here. I mean, I have damage setting at 100%, but they're all still like this. They're all driving normally. Still 4 wide. Few cars lagging behind. That's more like it, DK. The driver who's way down there in points, among one of the contenders here. But of course, she's being contended by, this member of Bidere. It's like high-speed musical chairs. Except without the stopping. Because this background music is playing all throughout. That was a terrible analogy I just made. I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Yurikago Kokone up in front, followed by Sue Aisaka and Mero Omiko. Drivers each from agencies that are new to CorpoCar for this season. Clara actually having a decent shot at going back-to-back. I mean, if Spica could go back-to-back, I suppose Clara might do the same thing. Okay, we were 4 wide at one point, now it's just one single file and 2 wide. Into the top 5 Clara goes as Spectra drops back a bit. Well, we got chaos with a pit stop shuffle at the end of the Chicagoland race. Actually, I think we may have gotten 2 pit stop shuffles that race. Don't know if it'll be as chaotic at the end of this race. Still most everyone driving fine. A slight hint of 3 wide, 4 wide. As Mero Umiko of Yume Plus goes to front with 16 to go. And then it's Kira Spica up in front. Well, we might not have chaos in the way of cars crashing, but we have chaos in the way of cars shuffling positions. Back to 2 wide for the most part. Spica, Nikki, and Mero the top 3. As we're gonna be official after this lap. How deep down is Fuyo? Well, she's 15th. She's doing okay, 6th. Somewhere around that area. Well, within the points, I guess. More than halfway through the race, and still 39 cars in the lead lap. DK back in front. Each top 3 all VNU members. And VNU are in CorpoCar East, which only has just the 1 oval race in 10 rounds back in March and April. I'd say if the vTuber Indy 500 had racing like this with the CorpoCars, then the race probably wouldn't be as intriguing. I mean, this race with the CorpoCars and not the Indy vTubers is intriguing in itself with how different the racing product is. I mean, instead of craziness and passing by and stuff like that, there we have organized side-by-side action with the occasional 3 or 4 wide. And the racing is sort of much cleaner here. Yeah, we still yet to see any beef between BDLA and Kauai members, as far as I could tell. Well, time to go with DK Graves, of all drivers, going up to the front still, with Serenity right behind. Hello Land versus AAA Club, but Serenity will drop back a bit. Maro Umiko, the lone Yume Plus rep in Worlds this season, making her way up to front. Amazing how everyone's been driving clean despite the side-by-side and very close touching with each other. If these were Indy cars, then the results wouldn't nearly be as intriguing. Well, Mero is a bit screwed in this regard because Rocky is blocking the way for her, and she drops to 7th. So Nikki goes back up to front. Rocky Kazuki is 1 lap down, Ko Maria still 2 down. Can't go up in front because of course she is. Rami now up front because of course she is. And she's the pole sitter for this race, so win would give her 101 points. It's not going to be easy, though, because, look, 2 cars are going ahead of her again. Panko with a nice blockage. Interestingly enough, Remy is on the high inside, but is slowing down? Dropping to 14th, 16th, 17th. What is that all about? Remy is slowing down. From the lead to the 20s. And she's trying to crawl back up, but there's still cars blocking the way. And now Momo Otako is up in front. Actually, she's one of the drivers in the front row. The other drivers started off in the front row. Just ahead of Penko and Nikki. Come down to less than 5 here. No, I don't think she's quite out of gas. Just fatigue setting in, maybe. I think we already raced at Miami Bayside Run for CorpoCar a couple seasons ago. But that was before the talent files came in. Perhaps if we get back there, we'll see how things are affected with talent files. Another shuffling of cars. Amber Amane, now one of the front runners here. Hoping to get back-to-back oval race wins. And continue Face Connect's inexplicable oval dominance. When they move on, when they will be moving on to a series without ovals. 3 to go. In fact, the top 2 are Bay's members. Still too close to call who's gonna take this one. Battle at the front stretch may see things happen as we come to the penultimate lap here. With Ember still leading, but I'm sure there's expected to be overtakes, maybe. I'm sure and maybe in the same sentence. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. One lap to go, 2.5 miles left of racing. With Ember up in front, followed closely by Kokone and Penelope. And now it's a sprint to the finish. Let's see what happens here. Kokone waiting for an opportunity to pass Ember, won't let that happen. Doesn't want to let that happen. Coming around one more turn. And who is going to take this as we go into the front stretch? And it's going to be Amber Amane again. Amber Amane wins on another oval. Second win this month for the FaZe Invader. Amber wins at Ontario. Wow! Another FaZe Connect winner on an oval. rFactor, you so silly. Yurikano Kokone will take second, and Penelope Wiseman takes P3. Amber Amane again. That's 3 oval wins this season. First at Auto Club in CorpoCar West, and now in CorpoCar World. She already has wins at Richmond and Ontario. I gotta write that down because, Jesus. Where did Ember start in the grid? Started off 13th. Yurikago Kakone started off 36th and ended up 2nd. What a jump by the VNU member. Penelope started off 6th and ended up 3rd. CorpoCar Oval Racing. It's different than IndyCar Oval Racing. Well, okay, then let's lock in the points, I guess. I am happy to report that Calera avoids previous race winner's curse. All right, moving on. I'm sorry to report that Leah finished 38th.
Oh, no!
Let's see how the points stand. Let's see. Leah, Iori, Rocky, and Ko Maria failed to score here. Well, 2 wins in 3 races for Ember and back-to-back oval wins. Not quite making the top 3, but she's still way up there in points. And we have a leader change. Chiaki goes back up to the points lead. 292 points. Fuyo is now second. 289. That's right, a 3-point gap between these two. Spica is third with 274. Ember to fourth with 265, and at 199 is Kohaku, wherever she is, right there. Just need to bump the thread. And we have a new bottom dweller, because Geekea finished high up there, her first top 10 finish in Worlds. Unfortunately, it's Lottie, who has 26 points. $17 behind the next driver down in Sheena. In fact, Lottie has only scored in 2 races. Wasn't all Lottie wasn't all 8 races so far, but only managed to score in 2 rounds? Jesus, what's with her luck? So we have a Pixelink driver up at the top and a Pixelink driver at the bottom. And then we are going to go to Laguna Seca in just a moment. So stick around, don't go anywhere. We're going to be 4 races within 30 points. Yep. We're going to be heading to Laguna Seca in just a moment. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we're back. We're back. Last race for today, we're going to be going over to WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. We're staying in California for this last round for today and last round for this weekend. This is round 9. A popular track still used in real-life IndyCar. 2.238 miles, 3.602 kilometers, 11 turns. And yes, we're also going to go there for the VGTC for round 6. I'm looking forward to the racing on this track too with the Grand Touring cars. All right. I mean, we should have a standing starts. I mean, Pippa is not supposed to be in today's races, so we have to take them both out. Instead, we'll see Amoria take us through the track preview. Goes counterclockwise. This is supposed to be turn 1, and then you head into the Andretti hairpin, which is turn 2. Slow getting out of pit lane there. Turns 3 and 4 are next. Somehow this is not marked as a turn. This obviously is turn 5, and then going into turn 6. And they head into the Rahal Straight before reaching the distinguishing feature of this track called the corkscrew. Yep, turns 7, 8, and 8A, the corkscrew, ladies and gentlemen. And then the rainy curve in turn 9, R-A-I-N-E-Y, rainy, and then turn 10. And then one more turn, and you are home free. That's Laguna Seca. All right, which 36 drivers will get in? Oh, most certainly Amoria. She is gonna have pole for this race. Track preview driver's blessing. Siu is not in. Komaria Kohaku didn't qualify. Chiaki failed to qualify for this race. Jeez Louise. That's a development right there. Chiaki missing out on Laguna Seca. Kaya not in. Yeah. Rin and Roka just miss out. Amoria and Rooney are your front row. Oh, this is very nice. Kokone, fresh off of her second place finish at Ontario, will start off second row alongside Nikki. Maeve and Fuyo make up row 3. Yuno and Sharzu and Clara. Leah Amber Coney. Iori, Spectra, and Spica. Momo, Juna, and Mazu. Penelope, Roa, and Remy. A childhood favorite track. Awesome. Serenity, Poco, and Loki. Henko, Reina, and Muna. Raki, Sheena, and Nova. Lottie, Mero, and Suri. And finally, Miyu, DK, and Michiru. So we are set to go for another crazy 21-minute race. As I need to adjust the medal counts. Looks good. And we'll come back to the other one later. All right. WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca for round 9. Let's see how everyone does here. Grid it up. All 4 red lights are up, and we go green. Here we go from Laguna Seca. Good start by Amoria. Rooney right behind. Rooney hoping for a 4th consecutive win by a phase driver this series. With Kokone not too far behind. Weak start by DK Graves and Mara Umiko. Here come the other drivers all out. Going into the Rahal Straits, up the highest point of the track before going down into the corkscrew, where we may expect to see a bit of chaos. Let's see how these cars fare here. I think the first few cars are fine. Some slipping and sliding. Too slippy slidey for Spectre and Juna. Back to the front stretch they go. Amoria, it looks like we'll have the lead after this opening lap. Followed by Rooney and Picone. Front 3 will stay that way after this opening lap. Fury and Spectre are just getting out now. A couple of issues involving Miyu and another driver. Excuse me. I mean, why? Yeah, that corkscrew, the most distinguishing feature of this racetrack. Sometimes it's so hard to get it right, but when you get down into it, it's a very nice feeling. Serenity just now getting out, and Nova is 1 down inexplicably. Despite, I don't think, going into pit lane. Maeve Kakakili up to third. Fuyo and Leah in the top 10. Ember, likewise, not too shabby. Popular racetrack in many different series. IndyCar, the old kart / champ car. IMSA Racing. Perhaps maybe SCCA Racing and other lower series. Moto America, which is the IndyCar equivalent of MotoGP. Lead for the Solstice member, I think. Amoria Solstice, yeah. 2.743. Amoria looking to make a big jump into the points standings. The CorpoCar East champion. After failing to qualify for Ontario, looking to get back to business. As a car is stranded in pit lane in Coney. Spectra lagging behind as well. Man, look at this massive gap of clearance with the lapped car of Serenity just impeding on the progress of Rooney and Maeve and Kokone and Nikki. So we're through 4 now. A lot of drivers driving safe. Tony's still stuck in pit lane. I don't see any driver out of it, as far as I'm concerned. Everyone's still driving clean. Amoria with a 4-second lead. Going down into the corkscrew. Trying to use her brakes nicely. Clean drop down the corkscrew for these drivers. Use your brakes carefully. Don't go too fast. Of course, it'll be dangerous if you spin out and you're very close behind or close ahead of opponents. Right here. But once again, the front runners made it through fine. Quite a few of you in the chat showing good praise for Laguna Seca. Problem is that it's hard to get good rolling starts in the rFactor tracks, rFactor versions of this track for vTuber IndyCar. I had to do like a dozen restarts in the IndyCar Series 10 race, which was inexplicably held at in nighttime settings. I mean, there were lights out, there were floodlights working, but not nearly enough, and much of the race had to take place in the dark, and it wasn't a good race to end the series on, even though it did lead to Amia Aranya getting her second consecutive IndyCar Series championship. But if the settings look right, the conditions look right, you'll have very good racing here. And the racing looks pretty darn good as far as I'm concerned. Amoria having a very fine race. As maybe some more cars would have to... No one's pitting, everyone is out. Thought there would be someone who would have to pit, but no, everyone is just playing things safe as we have completed the first 10 minutes. And we are set to approach the halfway point here as Amoria goes whee! Down the corkscrew. Rooney and Maeve and Kokone are also fine. Nikki likewise. Again, no change to the top 5 as Amoria makes her way into the front stretch again. We'll check to see how big the lead is. Rooney certainly trying to catch up here. Well, the interval has gone a bit bigger now, 5.5 seconds for the VNU second gen member. And nowadays, lone member of her gen, which was originally a 2-member gen. Suri Solari had issues at the corkscrew. Yeah, you gotta be very careful about that. Just basically got screwed over by Spectra. And is she still driving? She's trying to correct herself and get back in it. Gotta watch out for Amoria, though. Amoria is quickly approaching. Suri is staying out. Maybe an issue for Amoria because there's going to be a car in the way. Has the interval dropped a bit? It has increased a fair bit, almost 6.5 seconds now. But as the tires start to wear out and the potential for slippy and slidey is still great. Oh, there's a tiny bit of the aforementioned slippy slidey. We may have a closer battle going on between Amoria and the next few drivers down. Amoria hoping Suri doesn't screw up the approach into the corkscrew again. Oof, a slippy slidey by Amoria. And now she's being burdened by two cars ahead of her. And look who's right behind the VNU member. It's, of course, Rooney Roos of Haze Euphoria. And Maeve is not too far behind, which was what was originally a 6-second lead has now been reduced to less than half a second. We're going to be now 2/3 of the way through this race. Maeve wanted to go past Rooney, but couldn't. While Kakone is hoping for a second consecutive podium. More slipping and sliding on turn 4. Gotta watch out as you get past turn 6 and into the Rahal Straight. Do we have chaos? Not even an iota of it. Not quite. Nova is in pit lane. Let's just checking what's going on down there. Not hardly any incidents at the corkscrew according to the corner map for some of the drivers later in the grid. I think everyone is still in this race. Nova's 2 down, and a few drivers are 1 down. Maeve has jumped to 2nd, Rooney down to 3rd. Amorius has tried to build up a healthy lead again as we come down to 5 minutes. These drivers are still fine. Couple more cars pitting. Reina and Mazu. Geez, what beef may have transpired between these two that I may have missed out on. Unfortunately, I guess it's too late to see what went on. Coming down to 4 minutes. And 11 laps done. We're into lap 12. Amoria, Maeve, and Rooney. Amoria has led all throughout this race, had to deal with a couple of close shaves, but is trying to get to bring up her lead a bit more. Uh-oh, here comes the corkscrew again. Luckily, these 5 are still fine. Well, chaos! We have chaos in the last turn. There's chaos involving Penelope and a few others. Oh man, Kokona collected. Loses her front wing and whatever the front section is, it's not an engine cover because I believe the engine is behind the roll hoop. But yeesh, Penelope. Come on. Potentially screwing up the race like that for some of these drivers. Amoria still has a barely intact car. Bruni down to 4th now. Nikki Ray moves up to 3. Amoria hoping for her first win in Worlds. Likewise, Maeve. As we will now come down to the white flag here. We have a big sprint to the finish involving both Amoria and Maeve. With the potential for Serenity to perhaps screw things up for these two. I mean, they're all supposed to be in the same agency. Again, slippy and slidey on turn 4. Rooney, maybe frustrated, perhaps being shafted out of the podium, as we come down to the corkscrew for the last time in this race. Amoria hoping to complete a perfect race win. Led all throughout this race. Clean approach through the corkscrew. And on to the finish they go. A mistake by Maeve. But remains second. Here comes Amoria. Led throughout all this race. No problem from pole. And the CorpoCar East winner will get herself a win in the CorpoCar World Series. Amoria wins at Laguna Seca. Made second and Nikki third. The VNU Solstice member makes VNU get a 1-2 finish along with the adorable Maeve, the adorable Amoria, and the adorable Maeve. Finish 1-2 here at the very popular California racetrack, WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. GG, everyone. 101 points for Amoria. Still waiting for Kokona and Serenity to eventually finish, as some of these cars have trouble with, I don't know, making their way down the corkscrew. 3 idle members in the top 10, 3 phase members too. Well, yes, you're quite right. At least everyone will make it into the checkered flag, I suppose. As Serenity will delay the finish. Stopping at pit lane for a minute or so. We'll fast forward to the finish, because, I mean, the grid is already done. I mean, how long is she going to take in there? There, we're done. All right, so let's lock in the points and wrap up for today. All right, the names are in. Update the medal counts. That's Amoria's first win in Worlds and her third podium this month. This is Maeve's first Worlds podium. And Nikki, that's her second podium. Second CorpoCar podium. Amber avoids previous race winner's curse. All right. Roa, Sharzu, Momo Iori, Miyu, Loki, DK, Spectra, Kokone, Serenity, Reki, Miuna. Lottie finished low again. Yikes. All right, that's all 36. So 2 drivers winning from pole today. That's Amoria at Laguna Seca and the car right next to hers in Clara's. And 36 drivers, yes. 36 drivers, 101, and then pole. And we have another change in standings. Ladies and gentlemen, Amoria moves into 5th overall with her victory here, but it's Fuyo Cloverfield with her high finish, 6th place here, and she's back on top of the points with 6 rounds to go. 329 points for Fuyo, 312 for Kilaspika, and 3rd is Chiaki, who did not qualify for this race. 4th is Ember, 291. And Amoria 267. All right. So that is it for today. We are going to be back. Woo! BGCT trailer rendered, ready for posting. You can go ahead and have it posted in the thread. And then I'm going to wrap up here. So We're going to be back Friday night for rounds 10 through 12. Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, with rounds at Adelaide, Talladega Road Course, and New Hampshire. And then we're going to wrap up the series next Sunday with races at Curitiba, Kansas, at Road Atlanta. Those are your last 6 rounds in CorpoCar World Series Season 5. So, very fun races to wrap up this first weekend of action. Congrats to Clara, Ember, and Amoria for winning today's races. So, that's going to be it for today, and we're going to be back again on Friday night for more CorpoCar World Series Season 5 action. I'm going to go ahead and get ready for the Road America IndyCar race, and I want you to have a great week ahead, and I'll see you again on Friday night for more CorpoCar World Series Season 5 action. Thanks as always for watching, and see you again on Friday night. Take care, all. Otsadag.